What's up, family? How y'all doing today, man? I hope y'all doing good. And if you're not, I got some information for you today. I'm starting a 7-day water fast. Today is day 1. So far, I'm going pretty good. I noticed that whenever I fast, I just feel great. You'd think it'd be weird because I technically have no calories, so no energy, but in a way, I have way more energy than I do when I eat food. So I'm sure that today won't be too bad. Next day might not be horrible, but I'm pretty sure I'll be pretty tired after that. But I really want to go through with this. I just want to see what fasting can do for me on a longer extended period of time. It's going to be water fast because I don't want to be fucking dead by the end. So, this video is about feeling lost. Because I know for sure that there's a lot of periods in my life where I felt lost. And specifically in my situation, I go from a cycle of extreme, bipolar. It's like knowing exactly what you want to do and being extremely motivated to do it, and then the opposite, like knowing nothing, feeling like everything is worthless. I go through those cycles very often, and I got to a point where I learned how to control and use that feeling to my benefit, because I noticed that when I feel lost, that's the best time for me to brainstorm what I can do, the things that I want, the things that I don't have. The pain gives me the best time to be able to learn these things. So if you feel lost, I have 2 things that I want you to consider. First thing is, are you really lost? Or are you convincing yourself you're lost? Now, what I mean by this, in life, we tend to believe what people say and disregard what we say because it doesn't make sense, or there's no logic, or there's no belief. So, let's say you're working a 9-to-5 job and you hate it, but you need to bring money in. And at the same time, there's something you really want to do, but you don't do it. I call that fear disguised as practicality. You are making an excuse for not doing what you really want to do. I'm not saying quit your 9-to-5 job. I'm saying if you want to make change, you can't just stay in the 9-to-5 job forever and expect to be happy. You have to do something else as well. For example, I was working a 9-to-5 job and I started making this YouTube channel. It takes 20 minutes out of my day, and I enjoy walking in nature anyway. So it's like there is no excuse for me not to do it. And the only thing that's holding you back is fear. Fear is a man-made concept. I say this in every video. Fear doesn't exist. If you go to YouTube and type in Kobe Bryant fear, there's a video of Mamba mentality, and it's pretty much Kobe explaining that fear doesn't even exist, because failure doesn't exist. Because if you fail on Monday, you can just try again Tuesday. If you fail on Tuesday, you can try again Wednesday. There's no such thing as failure. You can either achieve or not achieve at one moment, but eventually, if you upload a billion videos, eventually one of them is going to get traction. There's no way it won't. Even if it's negative traction, you do something stupid and it becomes a meme. That's traction, that's publicity. No publicity is negative no publicity is bad publicity. So I say, if you want to do something and you want to be seen doing it, but you tell yourself that people are going to make fun of me, or I'm not good enough, or I don't have the skill, you are literally blocking yourself from your blessings. And I say that you have purpose in your brain already. You're just hiding from it and denying. So you're never really lost. You can believe it because we're humans, we're fragile, and we can't grasp the idea of the future. We always think that whatever moment we're in right now is going to be the moment we're in forever. And if the moment right now sucks, then tomorrow's going to suck. But that's not true. Time passes. Things change. There's no way that things won't change. See, it doesn't make any sense. Why would things change if you don't do anything about it? See, if you believe in hermetic principles, as above, so below. So the above, or the outside world, is a direct mirror of what's going on inside your soul, in your mind, in your body. So if you want to change something of your mentality, you have to change your actions. You have to condense your emotions and your thoughts. You got to bring it down to the physical level and actually do something that stimulates those ideas and thoughts and feelings. So what I mean is, I like to combine spirituality and science at the same time, because science is the physical. The only problem with people believing in just science is that there is clearly more to the human experience than just the physical body. There's clearly more than the brain. That's why we don't understand why we are conscious scientifically, and we don't understand why we do things like dream. You can say there's a signal in the brain that causes you to go to this one state, but then explain why us as physical conscious beings feel that. There's no way you can explain through science why we actually feel. Like, if you hit me in the face, there's no scientific explanation to why I feel that. You can say defense mechanism, but it's so shallow. It's like you feel like you know a little bit, like you know 1% of the truth, and you know it's going to take a lot of pain, a lot of strength, and a lot of work to find the other 99%, so you give up. Because science is already there. Science is like, you feel like you're invincible when you're intelligent and you know science. Think about Rick and Morty. Rick he's like a fucking god. The US government tried to attack him, and some dude touched him and he instantly died. And they shot bullets at him and it deflected and killed them. Rick is pretty much a god, but even being a god with this much intelligence, Rick is depressed. Rick has very little sympathy and empathy, and he's an alcoholic. That indicates there are emotional problems there, because life is more than intelligence. And I say the most intelligent people are the most brainwashed. And I mean intelligent in the sense of like logical, analytical, scientific, mathematical. Those people are the most brainwashed. Like, you ever understood why in school, if you go to school, the smartest people are the least happy? Because they don't have time to do anything else. They just study. People who get straight A's. And you know that afterwards, after school, the A students work for the B students, and the C students run the corporations. The C students have all the money. Because think about Elon Musk and Steve Jobs. When they were in school, do you really think they spent all their time studying just for their math test? No, they were exploring fucking technology. They were exploring science. They were exploring electricity, and they were listening to people like Nikola Tesla. They were listening to people like Albert Einstein. They were actually going and finding things physically through their actions that sparked ideas. So if you want to change something in your life and you feel lost, you have to physically do something. Now, it doesn't have to be a physical thing. For example, I can physically and consciously do affirmations in my head, and that will slowly change the way my mind works. You just have to do something, because regardless of whether you know it or not, everything you do is being planted in your subconscious. So if every day I go to my house and I argue with people, eventually my mind is just gonna be focused on arguing. Like, I won't be thinking about how to better my life. I'll be thinking about how to win arguments. Do you know how pointless that is? Your mind is like a machine. It's like a habit. It's like a computer. So if you want to do something, you have to program the computer to do what you want to do. And you can't program a computer by just sitting there and doing nothing. You have to type in the code. You have to plant the seeds. You have to do something that stops you from being lost. You have to physically change and become what you want to be. It's like the idea of fake it till you make it. If I want to be a spiritual person and I'm not spiritual right now, I go out in nature, I fast for a couple days, I wear crystals and shit, and eventually, like, you can be like a liar, but you can be like a fake spiritual person, but if you constantly do these things, you are going to become a spiritual person, just in general. It's like, when you do something, you are already becoming something else than what you are. And your name and your ego, the longer you stick to your identity, thinking like, my name is this, and I do this, my hobbies are this, the longer you stick to that fixed idea, the longer you're going to be lost. Because if you only believe in fixed things, if you only believe what people tell you, then they can manipulate your mind. If you listen to the media every day, if you listen to rappers and you follow everything they do and you believe everything they say, you don't have free thought anymore. And it's like, it's crazy, because religion does the same thing, school system does the same thing, politics do the same thing. They all want you to believe and listen to what other people tell you, because they have power. They have, these people have power, and somehow, because they have power, we believe that they're more powerful than us mentally. That's not the truth. We all have the same mental capability. The only difference is those people in power actually did something to get there. And they became what they did. So like a politician becomes a professional politician by doing politics and studying politics and listening to politics. It's not that hard of a concept. So if you want to do anything, you have to incorporate what it is you want to do into your life, and then learn how to use your personal talents and skills to do those things. For example, I'm a Virgo. I am an analytical person, but I have my emotional, I have my communication in Libra, which is very much reason. I have my Venus and my Venus and my moon. I have those in Leo. So because I have those in Leo, I am very much a fiery, loving way of thinking about my mind. And the way I think is Leo, the way I feel is Leo, but the way I am is Virgo. So by using that knowledge, I can realize that, so I love loving. That's the Leo. I enjoy loving. I enjoy being center stage in a way. I'm a thinker. Because of Virgo, I'm an analyzer. And because of Libra, I do reason. So therefore, when I make these YouTube videos, you see it right now, I'm center stage, and that fulfills the Leo in me. I'm reasoning because first off, I'm analyzing because I'm gathering data and understanding what's going on, and I'm reasoning with Libra because I'm deciding what I want to express and what I don't want to express, and I'm indecisive in a way on what I want to say, because it's what I say and what I do is what I'm going to become. So if I don't want to become something, I don't want to say something that is against what I want to say. Like that guy right there, he wants to be a biker, so he's biking. And I'm wearing a crystal right now because I want to block negative energy. It's that simple. And even if it's not true, you know the placebo effect. Even if this crystal doesn't actually work, as long as you believe it works, it's going to work. That's what the placebo effect is. And the placebo effect, people say, oh, I'm sick. Well, I'm going to give you this medication. It's going to make you better. But the medication is just water. But the person doesn't know that. And then they start feeling better. That is expressively your brain forcing your body and believing and having faith in that the medicine works so much that it does work. Now, if your mind can just create a feeling out of nothing, does that not mean that you have the power to change what you're doing in life and the way you feel? So when people tell me they feel lost, I'm saying it's not that difficult to find your purpose. You just got to sit there for like 5 minutes, think about, what do I enjoy doing? That, okay, I'm going to do that. That simple. And people people in the system will try to make you stop doing that. They'll be like, oh, you got to work. You got to make money. I'm saying make money, do something you enjoy. Because I can make $50,000 a year working a job that I don't enjoy, but if I put the work in and have that little bit of risk, maybe I could become a YouTuber, make $200,000 a year doing something I really enjoy. So you really think that all the people who are rich, all the people who made a lot of money, just decided to work a job? Nobody who ever became a significant person in this world just decided to work a 9 to 5. Nobody. Because how would you know them? You wouldn't. See? It's just reason and following your heart and following your intuition. So for example, if you like reading manga and you like talking about manga, why not make a YouTube channel about reading manga and talking about manga? Because you like it, someone else, other people out there have to like it. And there's a market for everything. Do you know how many people are on this world? Almost 8 billion people. There's no way you're the only one who enjoys something, and there's no way you're the only person who thinks the way you do. That's fear, because you can't understand what it is that other people truly think because you're not in their head. But at the same time, other people have the same idea. You are not in their head either, and they don't know if you think the same way they do. You don't know. So I understand why you could be lost, but at the same time, I don't understand how you can be lost, because you have all the answers within you. It's only you who is doing the action to make you not do that. I like talking. I like being in a spiritual environment, so I'm in a spiritual environment talking on a camera. And I'm going to keep uploading videos until I blow up. It's not that complicated. Life is not that hard. People tend to make problems out of nothing and, in a way, block their own happiness by putting barriers in front of them that they say, I can't pass this. I can't get through this. But that's just you. You're consciously creating that barrier by giving that thought any credence. And the biggest problem with people nowadays is that we think we have no value, but every person has infinite value. It's just whether or not you tap into your potential, whether or not you actually do what you want to do in life. And a lot of things aren't going to be able to be perfect at the beginning, but as long as you start doing something, the paths will become visible to you. It's like, if I'm going to be a rapper, I got to start rapping. If I never start rapping, I'm never going to understand what it is, because let's talk about it in like the search algorithms. If I want to be a rapper and I'm rapping all the time in my room, chances are I'm going to start looking up stuff about rapping, and you know how it goes with the search algorithms. If I think about rapping, I talk about rapping, I type down rapping things in my search bars, I'm going to start obtaining more information about rapping, and eventually I'm going to find something that says, this is something you can do to break it to the next level, and then once you put the work in, you will. Well, the only thing that stops you is taking the first step, because once you take the first step, you realize it's like going into a pool. It's like, oh shit, the water's cold. But once you get in the water gets warmer. Your body adapts to the water. It's going to suck getting in for the first time. You're going to feel a little shitty. But don't be a bitch. Don't be a pussy. Just do what you want to do. And I'm trying to make money doing this, but I'm also trying to express my opinions. So if someone has a differing opinion, I don't really care. That's why if you do something you think is cringy, the only thing perpetuating the cringiness is you. So if you think you're cringy, you're going to be cringy. But if you don't think you're cringy, you're not going to be cringy to other people. Because it's just self-belief. The more I buy into something, the more it exists. It's why if I start having an insecurity, if I notice something, like I notice I have acne or something, or I notice I have a pimple, if I think about it more and more, I'm going to just notice I have the pimple again every time I look in the mirror. But if I look at the pimple, I'm like, oh, it's a pimple. Whatever. I'm not going to look at the pimple anymore because I don't care about it. So it's just whatever you focus on is what comes to you. And the more you do, the more it will come to you. You see, I was eating some shitty fast food recently. I ate pizza yesterday. I'm going on a 7-day fast because I know I fucked up, and I want to get my body back to the perfect level, dopamine wise, serotonin wise, all this stuff. I want to get my body back in shape to where I can achieve what I want to do and not have roadblocks in front of me. So I'm doing something that cleanses my body physically through detox. Doesn't that make sense? It's not that hard of a idea. And if you have a personal issue, or you have like an example for yourself that you are not aware of how to break the cycle, hit me up, let me know, comment it, and I will respond to you, and I'll be like, oh, this is the issue you have, do this. And it's not that hard to understand it when you begin to know who you are. The point is, you have to understand what is true and what is not true, because every insecurity you have is just an illusion. It's false. Fear is false. Anxiety is real, but fear is false, because fear is just believing that you know you're going to have anxiety. Fear is just the fear of fear, in a way. Fear is the fear of anxiety. So it's stupid. It literally takes part of your life away that you want to achieve. It literally stunts your happiness. That's the barrier that I'm talking about. So if you want to do something, just do it. So that's all I gotta say today, man. If you feel lost, just follow what I said in this video, and eventually a path will open up to you, as long as you allow it to. So that's all I gotta say today, man. I appreciate you all. I love you guys. The Daily Mystic, bro. I love that name. Just looking at it, it looks perfect. The Daily Mystic. I love it. But that's all I gotta say today, man. Third eye. Goodbye, family.